When the Absolute turns his attention to creation, the natural result is wonder. How else to describe this world, where with every turn of the head, one encounters heart-wrecking beauty that takes a soul a lifetime to absorb? If blessed with humility, an artist will accept that inspiration is merely borrowed creation, a gift from the great artist to beloved children so that they might share with him the inexpressible joy of birthing splendor. It is only fitting, therefore, to set our gaze on the jaw-dropping array of gorgeous vistas and stunning landscapes that form the underpinning of our experiences here on this vast canvas called Earth. These are his brushstrokes, and the master is always at work. What we first learn about our Creator, the artist from whom all others derive their talents and passions, we learn at the very beginning. Abba, our Holy Father, is a gardener. Fashioning this world from what we might call nothing, he declared it very good when he finally rested, which, considering the source and his usual habitation, was very high praise indeed. Towering mountains that scrape the skies to windswept plains that run for miles, from cavernous ravines that tickle the stomach to rolling glades and rock-laden gorges that light the imagination. Sunny beaches marked with swaying palms and snowy alpine slopes are both his taste. And for a single mind to have spawned it all speaks to the true magnificence of our great Creator. Remove from your mind the matter of scale when considering what you see. For the one who created all this also created the heavens in their vast array, an ever-expanding canopy of stars and planets, millions of times larger than our own sun, than galaxies that burst forth with vivid color in a kaleidoscope of cosmic glory. To Yeshua, the beauty of that cosmic flow is in no way superior to this tapestry of stone and forage that he has cut into the earth for the pleasure of his children. For the gleam of childlike wonder in the eyes of his little ones as they walk with him here, should they follow the natural leading within them to turn their gaze to the one who did all this, is worth more to him than the combined splendor of all that he placed in the heavens. The whole earth is filled with awe at your wonder. Where morning dawns, where evening fades, you call forth songs of joy. What really strikes one when walking with him here is how perfectly he leverages imperfection, like a symphony of discordant notes that somehow swell into a chorus that rings in perfect harmony. In this way, these jagged rocks and their surreal placement in this otherworldly gorge amalgamate with the tenderness of towering foliage and with a randomness that only the most gifted artists can achieve. Those who indulge in the arts understand that there is nothing more difficult than to purposefully make something look random. And yet we see throughout his masterpiece Earth countless examples of the Lord doing just that. And so as we take note of the rocks and their astonishing assembly, it dawns on us that the one about whom we speak is more than able to do this, whether by guiding their tumbling during days of great shaking when many of these monstrous stones were cast down, or whether they were purposely placed here during the days of creation. Yeshua, our Creator, thrives in either scenario. The bridges, tunnels, walkways, and guardrails that guide us here were built during the Great Depression by men employed by the state of Ohio on an initiative designed to provide livelihoods throughout that terrible season. As this infrastructure nears the century mark, we are impressed by their workmanship and traverse these startling heights in relative safety. We are reminded, however, of a call to obedience and the dire consequences of ignoring warning signs that one encounters along the way. For I assure you, refusing obedience to posted warnings here can and often does prove fatal to the foolish hiker failing to resist the urge to wander. Someone perishes almost annually upon these grounds, usually falling from dizzying heights after ignoring warning signs at their own peril. These warning signs parallel our own walk, a lifelong traverse through perilous landscapes of pilgrimage that begins as we enter adulthood and our spiritual eyes flutter open. It is then we take our own bite from the fruit that was first consumed in the Garden of Eden by our forebears. The knowledge of good and evil passed down by our ancestors like a dreadful heirloom, lovely to behold but contaminated by a cancerous curse. As we marvel over the sights, forewarned of these perils, it is as though the great Creator and lover of our souls inspired their placement to serve as a microcosm to similar signs that are planted along the paths that wind through our lives. Through ups and downs, mountain peaks and blackened valleys, do we not glean from His holy word a series of warning signs that direct us to stay on His path? When we avoid sin, are we not saving ourselves from bone-cracking plummets about which the signs give warning? When we do what is right and follow obediently, is the resultant safety not in itself the coveted reward, whether the path be smooth or jagged along the way? As with the unfortunates who have died here over the years, in the end, it boils down to an act of free will. Though horrific accidents these surely be, and though our hearts ache for the loved ones who are left to mourn their terrible loss, not a single person who ever remained on the designated paths has ever fallen to their doom. The point we're making with this analogy is a spiritual one, and our condolences are ever with the bereaved. But why beauty? Have you ever wondered? It seems like an absurd question on the surface, obvious to the point of ludicrousness. And yet even this observation lends perspective to the character of our Creator and King. By comparison, Ask yourself how wonderful the deserved praise would be for even a common man if it was widely accepted that his natural creative prowess and general surroundings were always a marvel of beauty to the point of wonder. What if his manner was so congenial that every square inch of his welcoming estate reflected his organic inclination toward the pleasure of those who received his benevolent ministrations? Would not such a host glean the adoration of all who traveled within easy reach of his generosity? Would not such a man be a hero to all but the most cynical of people who look upon such free-handed benevolence with the jaunted slant of wicked envy? Indeed, such a man would be widely praised, and justifiably so. If anyone might be framed as a good man, surely our subject would qualify. Now consider our glorious Creator, goodness himself, the source from whom all others acquire whatever goodness they enjoy. If the benevolent straw man just described was worthy of praise for blessing with beauty all who came within touch of his immediate sphere, although in truth he was the origin of none of these things, but only the benefactor, how much more does this apply to Jesus, who with our Heavenly Father created this world for his pleasure and for the pleasure of those he loves? It is truly no coincidence that his creations are a compilation of beauties for which articulate description falls hopelessly flat. Even after thousands of years of exposure to the influence of the malevolent one, who himself lacking creative power, can only twist and corrupt God's creation to his perverted purposes, the earth continues to amaze as it fulfills the words written by the prophet, "The whole earth is filled with his glory." Places like this, albeit in microcosm, are a testament to his great heart and natural goodness, showing that even in the hidden recesses of the world, planted like treasures to be discovered by his children, we find one great beauty after another, and each a mirrored reflection of his beautiful heart. Cast from your mind even the hint that the interwoven marvels we encounter here and abroad are the result of random chance, as espoused by the delusional fools whose minds have been corrupted by academe. Causality, a scientific construct at the heart of truthful discourse, sits athwart our path, preventing any attempt to honestly arrive at that conclusion. To suggest that in an absolute state of nothingness, wherein one must remove from the equation the presence of mass or life or matter, that from this unimaginable paradigm an explosion mysteriously spawned for no good reason to begin the series of ludicrous billion-to-one long-shot scenarios espoused within the theory of evolution, is to insult the intelligence of every scientist on the planet. As the old song says, nothing comes from nothing, and nothing ever could. Not only is what we see here the work of intelligent design, but it is executed on a level of artistry that boggles the mind and inflames the imagination. The one who created the human body to be a microscopic wonder is also the one who fashioned stars millions of times bigger than our own sun, and he knows them each by name. In other words, it is all interconnected and for a very good reason. There is nothing esoteric or detached about creation, nothing within its fascinating construct that supports the cold-hearted obtuseness suggested by scientific dogma. No. Every wonder has its purpose and either contributes to our existence and survival, or has been provided by a Heavenly Father for the simple delight of his beloved children, as in all things truly of God, each for our good and for his glory. And yet, as we drill down into the very essence of our experience here, marveling and fawning over the sights, it is odd how the greatest testimonials to God's creative sovereignty are the simple epiphanies that even a child could grasp. Here, sprouting from the ground and lounging on this surreal flooring, is one absolute upon another. Nothing here, we realize, was, is, or ever could be made by man. From the singularity that is soil to the vast canvas that stretches overhead, we are reminded just how far out of our depth we really are. In the end, it is only common sense to acknowledge the simple, childlike truth. Only God can make a tree.